This is Counterpoint, and I'm your host, Tanya Granic Allen. 1 year after returning to the White House, President Donald Trump has once again reshaped the tone and direction of American politics, moving quickly to reassert executive authority, revive his America First agenda, and confront what he calls the entrenched political establishment. Supporters argue he's delivering on key promises, boosting domestic energy production, reshoring manufacture, tightening border enforcement, and taking a tougher stance in trade negotiations. Critics, however, say the pace and style of his leadership have intensified political divisions and unsettled long-standing alliances. At the center of his economic strategy is an aggressive use of tariffs aimed at strengthening U.S. leverage and rebuilding industrial capacity at home. The administration maintains that short-term pressure is necessary to secure long-term gains for American workers. But questions remain about inflation, consumer costs, and whether tariff battles risk unintended consequences. Trump also campaigned on avoiding foreign wars and limiting overseas entanglements. Yet recent military actions have sparked debate about how his peace through strength approach is unfolding in actual practice. Here in Canada, the reaction has been far less enthusiastic. A recent poll gave President Trump an F rating for his first year, reflecting deep concern over escalating tariff disputes and economic uncertainty. As trade tensions with Washington have intensified, Ottawa has moved to expand commercial ties with China, a shift supporters call diversification, but critics warn could further strain the Canada-US relationship. The question now is whether North American cooperation is entering a more fragile era. So, has President Trump's first year back consolidated American strength and political capital, or created new fault lines at home and abroad? Joining us now to break it all down is political analyst and contributing editor to Newsweek, Peter Roff. Peter, great to have you on again. It's been a while, but it's been a very eventful year.
It sure has. And it's good to
Yeah.
see you.
It's excellent. Okay, so we're 1 year into his return from office. How would you characterize President Donald Trump's biggest accomplishment so far?
Well, the biggest accomplishment was the passage of the one big, beautiful bill that preserved the tax cuts that Trump achieved in the first administration. If he hadn't had those tax cuts, the economy could not have withstood the pressure, the economic pressure from the lockdowns during COVID in the early part of the Biden administration. And even that was a narrow run thing. If those taxes had gone back up, it would have been the largest single tax increase in the American economy. And instead of talking about quarters with 5% growth and close to 3% growth for the last fiscal year, we'd probably be talking about recession.
Right.
It really, the foundation of Trump's success and the foundation of America's success is its economic strength.
So how has Trump boosted the economy in the past year? Because, you read headlines about house foreclosures on the rise, that, and then with the tariffs or retaliatory tariffs that, America potentially may be entering recession. How is America doing fiscally?
It seems to be doing pretty well. As I said, we're looking at growth for the last quarter at close to 3%, or growth for the year. I'm sorry, at close to 3%. Good, not great, but certainly better than what we had under Biden. The acceleration in the rise of prices that happened under Biden is over. Inflation is back to almost stable money, a little bit somewhere around 2% core inflation. There are hiccups, but those hiccups are not Trump's fault or responsibility. They're the hangover from the drunken spending binge that Biden and the Democrats that controlled Congress went on in the first 2 years of his presidency. They were shoveling money out the back door of every federal building in Washington. And you can't dump that much money into the economy without generating a rapid price rise. Now, at the same time, because of the lockdowns and because of other bad decisions that Biden made, real wages actually fell. So the gap
Wow.
accelerated. The gap expanded on both sides. People had less money and were being forced to pay more.